Today's episode of the Cantina is brought to you by Grow Generation. Whether you're at the Death Star or the Senate, they have everything you need to grow right where you are. More from them later in the episode.
Welcome to a galaxy far, far away. Here at the Cantina podcast, we provide top shelf service, including rumors, leaks, news, and reviews. Come in, order a Loman Ale, and remember,
I think we
no
should
droids allowed.
We should be good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. Go, everyone. Thank you. Well, welcome to the Cantina. Our introductions are hopefully becoming famous. Cam and I are starting to plot some new fun things for that. Speaking of Cam and I am Kyle Malone. The other guy here today is Cam Clark. We are the crew of this flying vessel, the Cantina. It's a flying bar, and it's only that way because all of a sudden I kept saying crew, and I was like, oh, wait, we've got a bar theme. So now we're a flying ship called the Cantina with a bar, and all we do
got a bar in it.
Yeah, we
just fly about and get people drunk, basically.
It's errant venture with a really big focus on the bar.
Right.
So, Cam, how's it going, bud?
Good. Yourself?
Man, I'm hanging in there. You know, it's been a fun week with the Star Wars Visions and me getting to rewatch some stuff and reanalyze it. Get a big kick out of everyone's reactions. You know, I labeled our what do you call it? Our review from Animeverse Reviews podcast, wherever you guys, get your podcasts, subscribe to the Genreverse podcast network. We did a crossover with the Cantina. Cam gave some thoughts. Not a huge anime guy, but the thing I've loved the most is just seeing how many people like you that aren't necessarily anime people that did find one or two that
one or two that they enjoyed.
They went.
That's a good thing. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I mean, I can remember a similar situation watching the Animatrix years ago, and liking one or two out of them and not liking the rest. And I just thought it would be something similar here, but there was a few that didn't appeal to me, but there was a few that I genuinely enjoyed. So
yeah, and the coolest thing about it to me was how everyone was so willing to say, you know what, fuck canon. I can do this without canon. I'll be happy without. This is fine.
We always knew right before they announced this, it wasn't going to be canon, so everybody's had a lot of time to get their heads around that, and that's the way you have to go into it. Looking at it as just some fun stories that you can take or leave depending on which ones you enjoy. That's it, really.
Yeah, so I dug it. I hope everyone will take a chance. I'll remember to link down below, and of course, if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, it's there, and the podcast network, which I already plugged. And hey, lrmonline.com, genreverse.com, guys. It's all one big Latino review media family. It's all LRM. Genreverse is for the super duper geeky stuff coming in the future. But anyways, man, I guess that's enough housekeeping and kind of saying, hey, go check out last week's stuff. Why don't we go ahead and start talking about some of this week's interesting news, man? Oh, and hey, the stowaway, he's off ship this week, so whatever.
Unfortunately, there's a few issues with the engine, and he's down in the engine room fixing some stuff. We don't get involved in that. We're too busy flying.
And that's legit. There has been some issues with the with the site. There was a cloud something or another that went down last night, and we're running checks and all of that. So if you ran into any issues, hit us up in a message if you are still getting that issue. And then we do apologize. But dude, I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if my wonderful transitions work. It looked like it did. You won't be able to see it as much, Cam,
No.
because well, actually, I think I can manage that too. Boom! Look at that. I think it'll work. There you go, Cam. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can
Screen
see
being
that there,
shared. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
So we're talking about the Lucy Lawless bit going on. A while ago, everyone may remember that Gina Carano playing Cara Dune on the Mandalorian series was let go. Cam and I are not going to get into all those specifics about right, wrong, when, why, how. Regardless,
But everybody probably knows what
exactly
happened anyway and can make their own judgments.
Right. Well, one thing I wasn't necessarily aware of was the fact that people had fan casted
No,
Lucy
I didn't know
Lawless
this either. This
replace
was,
her. Yeah.
when when your
No, go ahead.
better half wrote this
Mhm.
story, I was reading it and for the first time it wasn't as if I had already picked that up elsewhere myself, so I was absolutely like, whoa, this is interesting, because I'd never seen that whole fan casting thing happen either. It's never come across our doorstep, that's all I would say, or any of the places that I visit to discuss Star Wars with fans, but it must have been out there.
Exactly. So, people were fan casting her, and you and I actually supported the idea of recasting Cara Dune.
We did, yeah.
and letting
we
her-
thought
the
that
character
might have
carry
been
forward.
actually
Yeah.
the easier hurdle, if you like,
Mhm.
to pass, rather than, because we don't know the ins and outs. Something feels funky with the already announced Rangers of the Republic show, which is our understanding was supposed
delays
to
and-
feature Gina Carano, and we just don't know what's happening with that now. And
Well, it's no longer
What-
under active production.
it's no
What
under
the
active
phrase that
production,
they,
whatever
yeah.
that means. But so it's interesting, and there's a part of you that wonders whether a recast would have just avoided all that and let them just schmooze on. But
Yep.
hopefully, what we get at the end of it all is something better. That's all you can ever hope for, isn't it?
We can hope, but what we for certain do have is this from Lucy Lawless, that she was actually being considered for another role. What that other role was, they don't mention.
Nobody knows. Well, she knows, but
Yeah.
she ain't talking.
We don't know what project, movie, TV, and
Nope.
animated. Like, she was just up for something else. And in an interview with with Metro UK, which has this weird hyperlink issue apparently. Maybe it's just us, but anyways, they did an interview with her, and I'll go ahead and, well, Cam, you don't stutter. Can you see her quote well enough to read it?
If I change my screen slightly, I can, yeah.
Oh,
If you
okay.
give me just 2 seconds, because I wouldn't be able to read it in the actual, but if I go to it on my phone, and I can just read it from there. Anyway,
Oh,
so
okay.
here's what Lucy Lawless said. Well, to be honest with you, should I do it in her accent or do it in an Australian accent?
Oh, God.
Well, to be honest with you, I was already in discussions about something. It wasn't The Mandalorian, something Star Wars affiliated. It might have hurt me in some way. No, I'll stop that. Because then they couldn't hire me, because then it would seem to be pandering to, I'm just guessing here, I don't know anything, but in some ways it can be unhelpful, because if they pander to this fan group, then how are you going to pander to every other fan group? Do you know what I mean? Lois has also shared how fan casting would make her look, and she had said, I became political and I had nothing to do with the discussion. But that's the way the world is, and they meant it out of love. And I thank the fans for their fealty to me. I haven't thought about that since, so it hasn't given me any pain. But that was my thought at the time, like, ooh, this makes me look like a political appointment and not an actress. What do you think? I mean, I get that.
Yeah, I
can jive with
understand.
that.
I understand, and exactly how she could feel that way. But where she's like, yeah, it sucks, but what a mature way to like deal with it, you know? Like, yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
This situation sucked, but life goes on.
I mean, I think she comes across as one of those actresses that knows that I don't think she came into it as a great actress, to be honest. If we go back to the Xena, Warrior Princess days, it was a bit
even
like
Battlestar Galactica.
Big tough woman. But I think she has actually grown as an actor over the years.
I like her,
and she is quite
Ash
humble, I
versus Evil
think,
Dead.
about what? Sorry, and what?
Ash versus Evil Dead.
I have not seen her in that. I saw she was in it, but I've not seen that. I did see it in something now. I believe, I'm going to guess it's an Australian sort of network show that she stars in, and she's like a detective. So we must get some of those programs over in the UK sometimes, and I know that she does do that. And she was all right in it, as far as I could tell.
Is that how you guys
Australian
keep tabs on your
productions
former prison colony?
Well, some of the soap operas have always been very popular over here. So there's a couple of really popular sort of Australian soap operas that have been broadcast over here since I was a kid. So
that's cool.
30 odd years, But we don't get a lot of Australian programming, I must admit. But this one, I saw it on one of our sort of cable channels, if you like, or your equivalent of cable channels.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was watching it. So it was just one of those things that I watched, and while it wasn't really my cup of tea as a drama show, she was okay in it. I can't even remember the name yet, but she was the star of the show. And it was a very different role from kind of anything else I've seen her in either. So, yeah, I thought she was pretty good. I mean, if I had to compare her acting skills to Gina Carano, I have to go with Lucy Lawless, personally. I don't know about you, Kyle, but I'm on the Lawless camp in terms of which one's the better actress.
As of now, yeah, Carano did fine with her role. I never felt that she was acting poorly as Cara Dune.
But it's a very limited role.
That's what I was going to say, where we were going to find out whether or not she could actually, do it was going to be allegedly Rangers and potentially, like a season 3 of Mandalorian. But
I think we needed to see if she could actually, I think there was a lot of doubt amongst the fan base whether she could lead a show. And I get that, because I didn't mind her as a secondary character, but I wasn't sure myself whether could Gina actually lead a show. And no, I'm not so sure about that, but we may never know now.
Yeah, and we could look at like Battlestar Galactica, where, like I said, her role, it was she did okay. There was really cheesy parts and parts where they're trying to be really really dramatic, and it makes me wonder. Do you know if she came up through like Australian soap operas by chance? Because
no, I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. But most I'm going to say most Australian actors do start like off. I mean, Chris Hemsworth. I remember him just as a young lad when he first appeared in the show Home and Away.
That one, yeah.
And he wasn't that good, I'll be honest. Chris Hemsworth was not some great actor back in those early soap days. I don't think they ever are. I mean, some famous pop star, obviously Kylie Minogue began the same way. Again, better pop star than I would say she is an actor. But, they do have some good ones as well. Heath Ledger. Yeah. I mean, Heath Ledger started exactly the same way, and I don't think anybody's going to argue that he was a good actor.
See, we'll have
a few others I've seen as well that maybe don't get the limelight, but the craft's there. When you put them in better projects, they become better. Let's put it that way. It's the same way. Not every soap star in America could then make it. Into a more sort of serious role, but some of them will and go on and be better than the material that they were initially working on, won't they?
Yeah, and the only reason I brought it up is some of the especially over dramatic parts with her in Battlestar Galactica. You could kind of feel that soap opera type drama to it, like that.
She was quite late in, wasn't she? She was late in Battlestar, so
season
she was one of the silent. Was it as early as season 2 she
was
came in?
Cylon.
But didn't her role kind of get
bigger
more
into
as it went on,
3.
as you started to explore the Cylons more,
and she
like
became
that.
crazy and was eventually shut off. And
because I seem to
spoilers.
remember, well, it's an old show now, but I seem to remember even. I'm going to kick myself for forgetting his name. The guy that played. What's his name in Quantum Leap? What's his name? Been in tons of stuff. American actor.
The original Apollo, that guy? No, not him.
The one that was the boss of the Cylons in the reboot. And he was in Quantum Leap and he played not Sam, but what was the other one?
I know the old man. He's the church guy.
He used to go,
pastor.
Ziggy says 91.2%. You know, him anyway. Right, I've forgotten his name. Damn it. Hold on, I just need to look this up now.
I'm on it. 2005 IMDb. Yeah, I
Dean Stockwell is Al Calavici. There you go.
Yep.
So that was where I remembered him from, and I think I've seen him in a lot of stuff. And he's not, some big, massive, star. So he's been in some crap. Dean Stockwell, and he's been in some good things, and he's good in the good things, and he's crap in the crap things. Does that make sense? So sometimes I think the actor can only do so much with whatever project they're in, and I think the later seasons of Battlestar Galactica, they get a bit pulpy, over dramatic, don't they? Towards the end a little bit. So,
absolutely. Still a really, really good
show.
Series overall.
Fucking good show.
If anyone's missed out on it, please do go back and check it out because it is great, especially
at the early seasons.
Yes, especially at the early seasons. Our next kind of fun story to talk about is something we got to talk about, a few weeks ago. And as I go ahead and transition on one screen and transition into another for Cam, we get to talk about the Mena Massoud Ezra Bridger casting and some stuff that recently he had to say. And why don't you talk about it a bit, Cam?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, if we go by the kind of the process of how this all worked out. So initially, there was rumours that initially came from actually the guys over at KRT that said Mena Massoud was in talks to play live action Ezra Bridger. Oh, cool. Then after that, Mena Massoud put up an Instagram post himself, and it was him sort of shirtless in a, publicity shot, shall we say, And in that publicity shot, he then used a quote, and the quote was one of Ezra's from the Rebels series. So being that this was the time that the rumour started to come out that he was in talks, everybody was like, oh, what's this? And obviously not that long ago, how long was that? But maybe a month and a half ago, ourselves, we revealed, two, was it now? We had kind of revealed that Mena Massoud was Ezra Bridger. He had signed on, the talks were over, he signed up, he's got the part, and, and it's since then, obviously, that he's had this recent conversation with Screen Rant. Now, what's he going to do? He's not going to sit there and turn around and go, yes, you have caught me out. I am indeed Ezra Bridger, and I'm going to announce it live right now on Screen Rant to give you the promotion for that. It can't be done, right? So he's not obviously going to say that. But I thought his answers that he gives, which I'll go over in just a second, were quite diplomatic and quite well answered, actually, in comparison to how we've saw some similar things from Marvel stars recently, shall we say. And he basically just said, look, I want it. That's a role I wanted to get, so I put my name out there. And it's a role I would still be happy to play. If Lucasfilm were so kind as to look in my direction, which I think is a nice way to play it, especially given I'm pretty sure at this point when this interview takes place, he already knows he's signed up. And I'm guessing so do probably the interviewers, but they just can't talk about it either, to be honest. But anyway, so what he exactly said was, just manifest and trying different things. there's not much more I can say about that. But, I had heard murmurings that this role was coming up. Now, that's, I think, the most key statement in this process for me. Where do we think that Mena Massoud hears rumblings that the Ezra Bridger role's coming up? Do you think it's through LRM.online.com or whatever other? I'm not going to promote all our rivals. But, there's plenty of them out there that they could go. I don't think he's talking about the rumours that Ezra was going to be live casting.
I think he's talking about
Remember,
agencies.
by the time... Yes, exactly. By the time those, rumours had come out, the rumour was he was already in talks by that point. So he's clearly heard that through the industry itself, through agents, etc. And that's how this game's played at the end of the day behind the scenes, without us getting involved. And in actual fact, sometimes it's the casting calls which a lot of sites get a hold of and get information from these casting calls at the end of the day. So yeah, I think that pretty much confirms if anyone was, they'll never bring Ezra Bridger, someone still living in the dark and hitting their head off that padded wall that Ezra Bridger won't come to live action. Well, what does that tell you? That's all I would say if he had heard it through the grapevine that this role was coming up. Anyway, and that this was becoming a real thing. So I just kind of wanted to throw my name in the ring, and just part of manifesting what you want. So, saying that he wants that role. As for why he did that kind of post on Instagram, he said, I think we live in an age now that's so different from the 70s, 80s, 90s Hollywood, where there was no social media. It was really just your representatives putting things out there for you. But now we have the ability to put things out there for ourselves because of social media and because we can put things out there. So yeah, I just wanted it put out there. I guess it would be a dream come true. And he then went on to kind of talk a little bit about how he feels like the role of Aladdin, being in such a big movie as Aladdin, has prepared him already kind of to take that step to something big like Star Wars, because I know it's not sci-fi in the same way, but I get what he means, a big Disney production, with a lot of money riding on it. And, Aladdin was pretty well loved by... I've never seen it, I must admit. Have you seen the new Aladdin, Kyle?
Parts of it. I don't like musicals.
It's not my cup of tea. So I'm very picky on my musicals as well. It's not usually my kind of thing. But the people that do like that sort of thing, that have seen it, have all said, yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it. Will Smith was great in it. Mena Massoud was great in it. So, and the movie made money. So that's the most important thing for Disney, as far as they're concerned. But here's what he says in terms of that opportunity itself. I think it would just be a great opportunity to take everything that I learned on a set like Aladdin and implement it into the Star Wars or DC or Marvel universe. So, he knows the three big franchises that you want to try and get into at the moment. We're talking about manifesting. So, yeah, it would mean a lot. I think I would also do a solid job, and I'd work really hard. I like what they're doing with that world and how they're expanding the universe. So, it kind of sounds like, I can't say anything, but it is a dream role of mine. I would love it. And if Lucasfilm ever have any interest in me for the role, please give me a phone, kind of thing.
I like that.
Which I think is quite a smart way of putting that. If Andrew Garfield had answered his questions the same way and said, look, if they ever are interested in me coming back as Spider-Man, I would be there in a second. So if Sony, Marvel, if you are interested, give me a phone, and it just took it on that way, rather than, I know it's a slightly different situation from Mena's been cast, he's not shot anything yet, he's not been in any sets yet, whereas Garfield's been glimpsed on set and all that sort of stuff. So it is a little bit of a different situation. But you know what I mean? I thought it was a professional way to answer that question at this point when we're saying anyway that he's already got the role and has signed up to it.
Yeah, I not only that, but Rosario Dawson's, tweets after our big, or Instagram post after our big reveal, and
it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, and the fact that
just he's Ezra. That's it.
This is one of those ones where it usually, if it's this wrong, it's usually put down already. So yeah, we're still
it's-
feeling pretty damn good about it, guys.
Well, our
I
reputation
like
will get absolutely tanked if he doesn't end up being Ezra, and put it that way. So that's how confident I am that we'll be so staking our reputation on it. That's what I said in the article today. So I stand by that.
Absolutely. But I'll also remind everyone that the leak, or not leak, but what's the word? Scoop game. That's not our primary purpose. Our primary purpose is giving you guys news and opinions. And whenever we get juicy little nuggets like this, we'll share them. But
if we can.
Yeah, if we can. We can't share anything else now until we take a word from our sponsors over at Grow Generation.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. For all of your cultivation needs, Grow Generation has the right products, service and staff to make your grow successful. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
Oh, welcome back everyone. I didn't mean to sigh about the ad. I was sighing about something else, but welcome back everyone to the show. Thank you, Grow Generation, for sponsoring us. The last kind of thing that we had to talk about, what was it? Oh, the Book of Boba Fett premiere date.
We got a date.
We
got a new poster, but the poster doesn't really.
Well, it does show some armor stuff.
It does show that it's changed slightly, doesn't it? The armor's a little bit different from what we saw at the end of Mandalorian season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's other than that, which we'd heard that through the grapevine anyway, didn't we? That there was going to be some armor changes. I think that was something that Bespin Bulletin had kind of learned, which we trust those guys.
Yep.
And
good job. And
I think, they had said,
were kind of wrong
on some
of our thoughts about what we might see. And it wasn't necessarily our thoughts, but we pontificated on people that had brought up Jango Fett. And I think I said I could seriously see it happening, but no, not at all from this. Now, that's not to say that there might not be some Jango shit later on, but I also can't remember the specifics, but we may have brought up the idea of, Boba's his own man though. So what do you think about the poster, since I got it on the screen, just to start off with that, and the yellow highlights and all of that?
I mean, I like it. It's simple. It does the job. It's basically his chair, if you like. I think meant to be that he's on Jabba's throne. Sets the scene for where we saw him leave off at the end of the Mandalorian season 2. But really doesn't give us any more information than that, other than that suit looks kind of cool, I must say. It all looks kind of cool. I'm
satisfied that there's not a drastic change to to the look, to the feel. It looks like he's
evolution.
He's been able to upgrade.
Yeah.
So the big deal though, of course, is what I'm circling on the screen, which is the release date, which is later than what I think most of us thought. I think 100%. Most of us thought this was like a right before Christmas type thing. But
the main reason as well is Hawkeye, because the way the schedule works at the moment, Hawkeye's finale is supposed to be that date, and that seems like a strange day to have all the buzz be about the Mandalorian, not the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, sorry, but hey, it's the same story. I know what you meant. We're getting told, and people know that it's a continuation of that story, so it is going to bring the Mando crowd over. So, I mean, I absolutely think that's fine. It's only 2 half-hour shows, probably. Yeah, we can watch them both in that one day, and we can talk about them both, maybe. Depending on what the situation is. So I have no issue with it, but it just seems like it would have been wiser for them, for example, to start a week earlier.
I agree.
With, the semi-final, if you like, of Hawkeye, rather than the actual finale itself. But, for whatever reason, it is what it is.
Or even
that's going to be a cool day, December 29th.
Unless
they bring the Hawkeye finale, early, and they do a double or something like that a week before it, which, who knows? They can do whatever they want. Yeah. Or they could show it on Christmas Day as a special on Christmas Day instead of the 29th. Who knows? That's just pure speculation on my part. As far as we know, it should be scheduled to finish on the 29th. But
I've been getting onto this whole set idea of, movies for Friday and shows Wednesdays. Fuck that noise, guys! You're already making it TV again. We all got duped. We're back to cable TV. It just now takes a lot longer to change between channels.
There was some comment this week I'd heard about, the possibility of Disney looking at maybe putting adverts on Disney Plus, and I just thought, well, all we're getting then is just TV online. So they're making money off as subscriptions and adverts. It's too much.
Amazon does adverts for its own shit on Prime. You can skip
I think that's okay,
but it's still
advertising
happens.
Your own
it's annoying,
shit,
But they should have like, hey, Monday is Star Wars Day, Wednesday is Marvel Day, Friday is movie day, and say the Thursday is Disney Original Day. So that way you don't always have to worry about overloading any particular day. So the next season of that what do you call it? The one with the Grand Master. Jurassic Park. Dr. Ian Malcolm. Fucking
Ragnarok. What if?
Yeah, it's the actor.
The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Goldblum. Thank you, guys. This is what it's like to have a brain injury sometimes.
That's why you've got me here.
That would be a Thursday thing, but Boba Fett would be, like I said, let's say Marvel Monday. So Book of Boba Fett would be a Wednesday thing, and then Hawkeye would be a Monday. What is wrong? What is wrong with that? And that way you still manage to have overlapping things to make sure you have a continuous layer of new shows. You just don't necessarily overlap on days. Because like when Visions came out with What If, I had stuff to watch that day and extra shit. And I was like, first world problem for sure.
It could end up getting to a point where there's too much in a Wednesday, depending on what they've got going on at the same time. I'm talking like once we get a lot further down the line and there's just more and more content coming out, then who knows? It could get a bit tricky, but at the moment it doesn't bother me. But I can totally see your point of view as well. I just don't know. There must be something behind the scenes that Disney have looked at that makes them think this is the best option.
Maybe I honestly think it's just all still experimental, and there's still a lot of people that are like, oh well, Netflix used to release everything on this day, so that's how it's done for streaming. And
Netflix did it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure
maybe
out.
I'm getting mixed up with someone else.
Maybe I'm not, but I think it's them playing with it, and it's fine to play with it. I'm just encouraged, but no more than twice, because then anyways, it's fine for them to mess around with the schedule. I'm encouraging them to mess around with it even more, actually. And I guess I could get Boba Fett off the screen.
I think they want to make Wednesday Disney Plus Day basically every week. I think that's the hook that they're going for, and saying, right, if you want to catch all the new stuff, if you say Disney Plus night is your Wednesday night of the week, then we'll always have something new for you. And maybe there's like a smart part of that, which because there is so many other competing services out there that are bringing out new material. I mean, that new Foundation's getting a lot of love on Apple Plus. There's something that I don't subscribe to, Apple Plus. I think I have an Apple phone, so I think I can get a free trial to maybe try it. But that it just feels like a step too far. I'm already subscribing to Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, Xbox Game Pass. I kind of feel like if I had to take another one of them would have to go. And I'll have to be honest with you, right now, looking at it, do you know what one I would pick to go and just come back to when they brought something that I wanted? It's
Disney
Netflix.
Plus. Oh, Netflix?
No,
oh,
Netflix.
Really?
Disney Plus has got far more content which appeals to me. My daughter loves Disney Plus. My son will watch more stuff on Disney Plus. Now, don't get me wrong, my wife likes quite a few things on Netflix, but after a while, she's kind of run out of things to use in that. I would say she finds more to watch on Amazon. And if I think about what's coming in the future,
Amazon. I'd never
outside
watch
of
it.
Well, in my country, Better Call Saul's on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
So I know that's not the same in America because it's AMC, but in my country, we get that on Netflix. So I would want to see that. I would want to see a new season of Umbrella Academy and The Witcher stuff. Outside of that, that's not that much. I would be dying to jump onto Netflix for at the moment. That maybe has been in the past, but not right now. Whereas if I look at Disney Plus, there's supposedly 31 projects that Marvel have got on the go. Now, a lot of them are movies, so take off a percentage of them, plus all the Star Wars stuff, which is mostly Disney Plus. Then we've got, various other things that I quite like on Disney Plus as well. And in my country, again, we've got that Star, so we've got all the Fox stuff as well that you have in Hulu. So that one to me is just... It's like the most appealing one of them all. And then when I look at Amazon, Wheel of Time coming out, Lord of the Rings show, a few other bits and bobs that I already like on there. I think at the moment it ends up in second place with me between the kind of big three. And I never thought I would say that a couple of years ago.
No.
Because Netflix was 100% number one. But I just think a lot of what they've put their money in, it's like, let's put as much stuff out as we can and we'll see what hits. And what hits we keep and what doesn't we get rid of. And I almost feel that they've done too much and not gave some things a chance. There's like good shows that they've cancelled and there's weird shows I've got no interest in that they seem to persevere with. I just don't really understand what they're doing over there at the moment.
Well, part of it legitimately is, and I don't want to get too deep into the politics because it's Star Wars show. While politics matter in Star Wars, these aren't Star Wars politics, but part of it is thinking that Twitter is a good focus group, and it's not. And Netflix has learned that as well as a lesson that several other companies don't seem to want to try to learn from, which is that you cannot live off of subscription alone. Thankfully, these other companies maintain their merchandise rights to fluff things, and then of course certain companies like Disney have parks to further
and Disney
the
and
subscription thing.
Disney also have theaters, which Paramount Plus is HBO Max, but I don't talk about those two, and this is the reason I don't talk about those two, because they're not international. So that's a states only thing, right? Or maybe they have it in Canada. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't
but
know
we don't have HBO Max, and it doesn't look as if there's any plans to give us that. Instead, that's like going to be an extra channel they're going to sell as a subscription to on our normal cable networks, because the main cable network in my country, Sky TV, guess who owns them? Same company that owns HBO and Discovery and all. It's all one big thing now, but that's who owns Sky in this country. Originally, they were owned by Fox, and Disney wanted it as part of the Fox acquisition, but the only way they could get it over the line was to give, at that point, AT&T the Sky part of it, and it went over there. So, it's just, I don't know, that I just don't see the point of that. I think if you're going to have these proper competing big studio franchises, you've got to go big, and going big is worldwide for me. That's the only way you're going to get producing your own shows and make money off them.
And not only do you have the interesting business things like that, but the very, very odd broadcasting rules in different areas, like the fact that in Europe boobs are one thing, but violence is another. While in America, it's like, oh God, no boobs, but God bless the blood and guts. So there's a lot of layers to it,
Yeah, ratings do change. It's getting better, but one of the articles I wrote last week was talking about ratings, because the ratings for Eternals had come out, Marvel movie, and when I was a kid, the ratings were so strict in the UK. It's unbelievable, and we would get a lot of stuff like scenes cut or things taken out to make a certain verification, or it would be just higher rated. famously
the
Teenage
Teenage
Mutant Ninja Turtles had to be called
Teenage
Hero
Mutant Hero
Turtles
Turtle
in the UK for years. I mean, thankfully, that's just no longer there. You can have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles up to your eyes in
with
the UK
nunchaku.
now.
Can he have the nunchucks now?
Yeah, I think you can even have them. I mean, my son can use nunchucks, so it's not as if they're illegal or something like that. He's actually practiced to do it.
It was just the thought of what if the kids see this?
Yeah. So no, it is a different world now, but there is still that. Maybe UK is kind of conforming more to American standards, but then there's other countries, and everybody's got their own rating system in it. And then the big problem is the rights issues. You have all these companies, and they've paid all this money for the movies, and half of them own the rights to show Warner Brother movies. So Warner Brothers can't just say, "Hey, let's just take all them back." Disney had issues with that to begin with as well.
There's still international distribution rights for over-the-air services, let alone, like I said, I feel it. I lived in Europe. Like I was an American living in. Imagine that. Like imagine having American entertainment the way that I.
He was an
do.
American werewolf in Europe.
Exactly, and then I did. For almost 6 years of my life, I lived in Europe, and then additional years of my life living in the Middle East. But I know what it's like,
Surely.
Yeah, and even the way they pump U.S. entertainment to the service members via the Armed Forces Network, all they do is they take it's like the top 40 of music, but it's the top 40 of TV and each genre. So it's like the top 40 primetime shows go on a primetime channel. The top 40
this is a strange question, but let's say you were in, I know there's no very little American troops there now, but let's just say you were back in Afghanistan or Iraq or something like that, and the new season of Mandalorian's, would you get to actually watch that while you were out?
How
would you do that?
So more than likely, the USO would and MWR would work with Disney and the legal VPNs that we use for secure communications and access to US based networks, and maybe showing them at the MWR, which are like our rec center facilities.
So you maybe want to go somewhere and maybe say we're showing this tonight or something.
But as far as getting it, as far as getting it ourselves, there were bases with internet in your rooms. If you were on
theoretically download it to a laptop,
you theoretically could use
VPN
and all of that. But I would hope. And I hope to this day that with these streaming services becoming bigger and definitely all of our service members out there and any foreigners, if you guys got something similar, contact MWR and USO and look at, can you guys get a streaming party set up at the local MWR? So I think that's good idea. Bringing that up, Cam. That's something I didn't even think about. That's cool. But yeah,
thinking of our servicemen all over the world since I've never served.
I will say this: when it comes to entertainment, it's much like life in Jurassic Park. In the military, it finds a way. Entertainment finds a way.
I'm sure it does. But I was thinking of the more above board methods.
Yeah. There's some ways, but I had left Europe before that was becoming a big to do type deal. So
yeah, you wouldn't have had that even back then. I mean, we didn't have Disney Plus, for example.
No,
it just wasn't there, so you didn't have to think about something like that.
No, but I do have to think. I was going to say, I do have to think about wrapping up the show, Cam. Did you have anything else you wanted to bring up? Anything that we kind of missed?
I don't think so. I'll be excited when we get to actually 29th. That's the Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I dare say the Friday of that week will be a review of the Book of Boba Fett #1, going by how we normally do things. So
yeah, it should be, and like I said, everyone, we did our fun little go with Anime-versal reviews and the Cantina talking Star Wars Vision. So please do check that out. And then, of course, we got to have some fun. And I created a little something for the website, and it actually gets to say everything that we do for us, Cam, like all the amazing articles on LRMonline.com and Genreverse.com, which does go right here right now, but all of those awesome celebrity interviews that we have on our YouTube channel, like this cool little trailer that you guys can see on that YouTube channel. It's right there. Look at that, Cam. That's Lee Pace. He was in that movie with that guy.
There's Robert Rodriguez.
And he directed the thing
he's
with
making
the
Boba Fett.
And that's Matt Damon. No, everyone, do please check out.
I never get to speak to any of these people.
I know.
Well, you have once or twice. I've never
a couple times.
No one wants to speak to Scottish people in the middle of the night, unfortunately.
No, and of course we do have all the podcasts that you guys can see right there on your screen. Marvel, freaking Star Wars, which you guys are listening to right now. There's the Anime-versal reviews podcasts, of course. There's so much great stuff, and of course Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast every God, when are they?
Thursday?
Fridays. Fridays.
Is it Friday?
Yeah, they're Fridays. And so yeah, guys, do definitely check it all out. Please subscribe, follow us wherever you get your audio podcast from. And again, Genreverse.com. That's GENREVERSE.com. All LRM online. All Latino Review Media, guys. We're just expanding, and for you, there's a bunch of social media information down below and in the descriptions. Cam, you got anything else you want to say, bud?
Nah.
All right. Until next week, guys. May the force be with you.